Okay, let's check out the next selection tool here in Illustrator CS3, the Magic Wand tool. Now, you're probably familiar with the Magic Wand tool from Photoshop. It works exactly the same way here in Illustrator, except now we're going to be working with vector objects rather than raster images. So I'm going to grab my Magic Wand tool over in my toolbox. And the Magic Wand tool, if you're not initiated, creates selections based on color. So I single click on a blue star, and other blue stars, other objects of similar color also become selected here. Now let me show you what's actually going on here. There's a couple of neat things we can do here. First of all, double click on your Magic Wand tool. That brings up your Magic Wand palette. You can also go to your window menu and go all the way down to Magic Wand to find it there as well. Just a shortcut to double click on the tool there. And click a few times on this little double-headed arrow here. That will expand your palette. And you can see here that right now the Magic Wand tool is creating its selections based on fill color. And just like Photoshop, I can set a tolerance for my fill color. Now let's do a little bit of experimenting here. I find it easiest to zoom in just a little bit, so I'm just hitting Control plus here, or Command plus on the Mac. And the first thing that I'm going to do is deselect. The easiest way to deselect, just go to your Select menu and choose Deselect. And then I'll take my tolerance and I'm going to drop it right down to 0. Now, when I click on a shape here, only shapes of the exact same color become selected. Now you might be wondering about this guy here and this guy over here. They appear to be a different color, but they're actually not. There's just a little bit of transparency applied to those objects. Let's try this guy over here. I'll single click on him, and only objects of the exact same fill color are selecting. Let's try a few other things. I'm going to uncheck fill color here, and I'll turn on stroke color. So I want to select objects with the same stroke color within a certain tolerance range. So I'll try clicking on another object here, and you can see we have quite a few objects selecting here. I can also create selections based on stroke weight. You can see where some of these will be coming in handy for some of your work. Finally, let's try opacity. So I want to create a selection based on a specific opacity. Now I have quite the selection happening here, so I'm going to have to deselect. Here's a faster way to deselect. I'm going to hold down my Control key or Command on the Mac and just click away in some white space here. What that does is temporarily accesses my Move tool, my black arrow tool. Just single click to deselect there. Single click on an object that has some opacity applied to it, and you can see other objects with the exact same opacity setting become selected. This object here didn't select because it has a different opacity setting. I'm going to try clicking on that, and there we have some other objects selecting within our artwork. You'll probably want to leave your Magic Wand palette set to the default there. Now, if you don't remember what the default tolerance was, no problem. We can just go up to the Magic Wand palette menu and simply go Reset. That takes us back to the default setting of 20. You can close your palette if you wish, or of course dock it over on the right-hand side if you'd like to keep it handy. And there's how to create some selections using the Magic Wand tool.